Welcome back to Beyond the Feature, the show about turning technology budgets into business value by fixing workflows, not collecting and learning about features in isolation. I'm Dr. Patrick Jones, and this is episode 2. Today's idea is deceptively simple, and it explains why so many trainings feel good in the moment and evaporate on Monday morning. Behavior lives where work happens. Not in the slide deck, not in a demo tenant, in the real place where your team actually works. Most training happens away from the work. Slides, sandbox demos, maybe a sample document that no one cares about. Well, the human brain is context sensitive. If we learn something in a different context than we use it, recall drops. Psychology folks call this context-dependent memory. So here's the translation. If I teach you a move in a classroom and you need it later in a noisy channel with a deadline and 5 @mentions, your brain might not bring it back on demand. This is why football teams practice plays on the field and not just write them up on the board. It needs real-world practice to adjust to the circumstances as they arrive. So our first principle of workflow change is simple. Teach in the workflow's context. If the work lives in a shared space, teach it there. If decisions are made in documents, teach there. The skill still matters. How to set the link, how to co-author, how to capture a decision. But it finally sticks because we place it at the moment of need. If features are ingredients and workflows are the recipe, then context is the kitchen. Cooking the recipe in the kitchen you actually use. Your real team space, real documents, real approvals is what turns skills into habits. Yes, I write books. Yes, I run courses. The Microsoft 365 companion series on Amazon and the Olympus Academy clips, YouTube channel clips, those are intentionally short, what I call reference moves. They're verbs. But the sentence forms when you use those verbs inside the real workflow. All right, so picture this, the meeting habit. In training, we show a slide about agendas and action items. In reality, people open the calendar, click 60 minutes, and wing it. When we teach in context, we open their recurring meeting, drop a tiny agenda snippet in that space, and decide who will capture actions in that space. Same feature, different brain stamp. Here's another picture. It's a document habit. So in training, we co-author a pretend April report. In reality, people copy last quarter's file on their desktop and rename it final. When we teach in context, we open the actual report in the actual team space and show comments and @mentions exactly where the work happens. Same feature, finally memorable. Here's another picture. The sharing habit. In training, we preach link settings. Well, in reality, someone can't open the file minutes before a meeting. Teaching in context means setting the right link on the real file for the real audience. Your brain now ties how to when and where, which is how habits form. So you've heard my 5-part mental model: trigger to shared space, short ritual, decision, trace. We mentioned that last episode. So today, let's just focus on the middle, the shared space. If the work doesn't live together, behavior change has nowhere to anchor. Skills float. Context provides the gravity. So we remember state plus place plus action as a bundle. So when the action, like @mentioning an approver, occurs in the same place and state where you'll need it, under time pressure in our team's channel, recall goes up. You don't have to memorize, you just repeat. So how do we do this conceptually? Well, you keep your enablement minimal and embedded. Think drip, not dump. Where does the work live? Teach there. When does the need arise? Teach then, or as close to it as possible. What 2 moves make the biggest difference? Teach only those. Notice we didn't say teach everything. I said teach at the point of use. So you're going to hear some objectives, objections, and here's how you reframe them. But we need a full training day. All right, great. Break that day into moments inside the real workspace. Your brain and your calendar will thank you. People need a demo tenant to practice. Sometimes, but the habit won't transfer unless we also do it once in the real place. Practice is good. Placement is better. We'll confuse people if we change the way they work midstream. Clarity beats caution here. Label it. We're improving this step right now. Short, plain, lasting gain. So think of my companion series in Olympus Academy as quick reference verbs. You can send someone a 3-minute clip or a chapter or a book on co-authoring at the moment they need it. That's how skills amplify the workflow rather than distract from it. Let's do a quick experiment. So imagine pausing any team for 60 seconds and asking, where does this work live? If the answer is email, your context is a hostile habit. If the answer is our team space, this channel, this folder, you've got home field advantage. Then ask, where do decisions show up so I never have to ask later on? If the answer is somewhere in chat, you'll forget. If it's the top of the document or the meeting notes, your brain knows where to look. Again, context. So there's some signals that you got the context right. People stop asking for the link because they know where that work lives. Decisions are found where you expect them. No archaeology, no digging and hunting. And new folks can observe the flow without a tour. The context itself teaches. So here's some anti-patterns, right? You can fix them later. PowerPoint, 40 slides, zero behavior, right? Demo tenant delusion, flawless practice with fake data, chaos with real data. And then there's skill hoarding. I watched 8 courses, says the person still emailing attachments. You don't beat those with more content. You beat them by moving the learning into the work. You're small, try this for the week, right? So let's take this one up. So pick one upcoming moment, just one, where a team will do real work. Decide one helpful move to teach in that moment, in that place. An example is kind of like show where to capture decisions in the actual document, or how to @mention an approver in the actual channel message. That's it. You're not doing a lab, you're planting a habit at the point of use. So that's today's lens, right? Behavior lives where work happens. When you teach in context, the brain connects skill to situation, and the habit has a home. Your software spend starts showing up in shorter cycles, fewer where's that link moments, and decisions you can actually find. Now, next time we're going to explore another core idea called defaults are destiny, why changing the path of least resistance changes behavior faster than any reminder campaign, and which Microsoft 365 features quietly support better defaults. Now, if you like this show, I'm just going to tell you now, go ahead and share it, subscribe to it, like it, promote it, so we can get the word out. Until then, remember, skills are the verbs, workflows are the sentences, and context is the place you speak them. See you in the next episode.